Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Meher Baba, 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 Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Reincarnation and Karma Discourse. Baba provided it in 7 parts. First part we completed, and we are in the middle of the second part. We covered some of the aspects, and today we are going to cover the remaining aspects of second part, which is heaven and hell. So in the previous session, we learned some of the aspects about heaven and hell. Since the experience of heaven or hell depend on our actions only, we have given a deep understanding about the actions. Actions can be categorized into 3 categories: Prarabda Karmas, Sanchitha Karmas, and Agami Karmas. That is one kind of category. We learned about those. And in another category, depending upon the physicality of the actions, our actions are divided into 2 categories: fine desires and coarser desires. Finer desires and coarser desires. What are coarser desires? Any kind of experience that we get through the employment of the physical medium. It may be objects, people, or places, or anything in physical nature. That experience, those desires are called as coarser desires. And finer desires they are not dependent on the physical medium. So, one example for the coarser desires is eating food. When we eat the food, we employ our physical body and we enjoy the food taste through our senses and all that. So that act of eating food itself has a lot of dependency on our physical body. So that is a coarser desire. And finer desires are mostly mental and subtle. Engagement in the arts, spiritual aspects, love, service, kindness, all these aspects come under the finer desires. So these are the 2 categories we learned. And we also talked about how the life is going to be without physical body after the death. How do we continue our life without physical body for some time until we get the new body later? In between, how the life is going to be, how that is going to be different from this physical life. Those aspects also we learned. So in that life, in the very first 3 days only, the departed soul will have some kind of connection with the associated people and associated places. After 3 days, that connection will become weak and may continue until until the total of 11 or 13 days at the maximum. After 13 days, the departed soul will not have any sort of connection with the related people. The soul will continue to live without body to continue its journey. It has its own job. The soul is engaged in its own journey without body until it gets the new body. So after 13 days, anything we do, hoping that they are still there waiting for us, Whenever we want to talk, we can talk to them through auto writing, or whenever we want to feed them some food, so that they are waiting to receive our food, is not correct according to what Baba said. And Baba also said, like how this physical life is illusionary in nature, the continued life after death in heaven or hell is also illusionary. That is another aspect we learned in the last session. Now, how long the duration of heaven or hell lasts depends upon the kind of actions we are involved. Number of actions and the nature of the actions, the intensity of the actions decide how long we are going to spend our time in the heaven or hell. So these are the aspects we learned in the previous session. Now let's move into the other aspects. I am going to utter some examples, so you have to tell me whether that is a coarser desire or finer desire. You guys ready? All right. Meditation. Anybody disagrees with that? I hear a lot of finer answers. Meditation is a finer desire. Everybody agrees? Okay, very good. You all score the mark there. And then serving others. But serving others involves physical labor, right? We have to physically get involved to serve the others.
Service also.
Sorry?
You said service also is a final desire.
Yeah, but I am asking why. Yes, I did mention service is a finer desire, but why? Because a lot of physical activity is involved in the service. Correct?
But that's not
We are not doing for ourselves.
We are giving to others is one thing. In the service, the emotional involvement is more than the physical involvement. Yes, any sort of service, we have to do applying the physical body only. However, the emotional appeal and the spiritual appeal in the service dominates the physical appeal. So, it is considered as the finer desire. If we want to look at that experience technically, strictly, it is both physical as well as emotional and spiritual. No doubt about it. But only thing is, the physical aspect is very, very small because the emotional and spiritual aspects dominate heavily. So what does it mean? It means we should experience, for serving others, we should experience heaven, but to a small extent we have to experience the hell also. Is it not? Because the physical medium is involved. It is coarser a little bit, but finer a lot. So we have to experience the hell experience also. That means, yes, we do experience the suffering because of the physical involvement, but in the heaven, compared to the extreme joy we face, we almost do not recognize this suffering coming from the physical involvement. Like how the emotional appeal is dominating, in the heaven, the joy coming out of the emotional appeal and the spiritual appeal dominates the suffering as a result of physical involvement. To speak truly technically, right? That in fact also will be there. The physical impact is negligible when you have extreme joy. On a daily basis, yes, I'll come back to you. On a daily basis, generally we complain to do anything in our home, whether it is washing vessels or washing clothes, anything we complain, we curse ourselves for doing that one. But when we have guests who are loud guests came, immediately we forget all the pain and we do more work. We cook more items without any pain. But on a daily basis, we complain for regular activities also. Is it not? Similarly, in the heaven, these emotional appeals dominate the Suffering we get through the physical aspect. Yes? Vijay?
We are considering physical involvement as hell.
Not necessarily. Ask your question, probably I'll understand better.
Just before you said the physical involvement is hell and the spiritual astral heaven.
Coarser. Yeah.
So hell and heaven you use, that's where we just thought of it.
Yeah, good. Let me say something probably that will help your answer. What is the problem with the physical dependency? Probably that's what Vijay wanted to ask. What is the problem with the physical dependency when we do our actions? The continued life after death is a non-physical life. It is a non-physical life. Here, this life is physical life. We carry a physical body and we interact with the physical mediums. Objects, people, places. We interact with the physical medium. This world is a physical world. Correct? Whereas our continued life after death, till we get the next body, is not a physical world. It is a non-physical world, astral world. So in the astral world, you will not have the access to any physical medium. First of all, you don't have access to your own physical body. The physical body is already either burnt or deterred in the earth. It is disposed already. Your body itself is not accessible to you. Right? For example, I gave the food. Food eating for living is not a desire, it is a need. But beyond that, we always have attached ourselves with the food. Beyond the need, there is no doubt about it, right? I like this, I like that. We have so many desires, so much cravings, and we see the food as a pleasure item. Through the food, we want to get some pleasure. So when we go beyond the line, when we cross the line of the need, it becomes a desire. And such food, whatever you like, whether it is pizza or burger or fried chicken, whatever it is, that physical medium is not available in the hell. When you have to repeat this experience of eating that physical medium, you don't have the access of that food available. Pizza is not available in hell, for your information. So the mind has to recreate that experience not by eating pizza, but by subjecting itself through an imagination of eating pizza. When you have the pizza at hand, it is easy to experience that one. Take a bite and then enjoy the taste. Fine, so easy. When you don't have, you have to re-experience that in the absence of physical medium, only by employing your mental imagination, which is very, very difficult. And obviously, when you attempt to recreate mentally, are you going to be successful? Are you going to be successful? Do you get the same experience mentally just like what you got physically? No, you are going to fail. That failure of the desire gives you the suffering. Even on this physical earth, we have desires. We attempt to get them fulfilled. Sometimes we will be successful. Sometimes we fail. Whenever we fail, we get disappointed. We get upset. Right? We get worried. Even here in the physical world. But in the hell, when you don't even have the assistance of the physical medium, definitely you are going to fail, and as a result you suffer. Suffering of failure of fulfillment of the desire is there in this physical life as well as in the hell. It is there in both. What is the difference? If we get X amount of suffering on the earth here, we get NX of suffering when we repeat the same thing, trying to reimagine through the mind. So the suffering of failure of the desire is going to be extremely intense in the hell. We suffer a lot and the pain is going to be n number of times compared to the suffering we get when we have the physical body. That is why it is called hell. That is why it is called very, very painful. Vijay, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the lesson we are learning from this Baba's message? Anybody?
Don't have any desires.
Sorry?
Don't have any desires.
That is the bottom line of all Baba's sayings. But in this particular context, what is the message we are getting?
Only go for need-based desires.
Stay need-based is one message, and especially when you deal with the physical objects, be careful. Don't get attached to the physical objects. Mentally, emotionally, if you are attached to an object or a person or a place, that is reasonably okay, although it is a desire. That is reasonably okay. Because this physical medium is not available in the life after death, you better stay detached with the physical medium. Make sense? That is why living a detached life is the spiritual way of living. Not claiming that, oh, I love this object. I love my wristwatch. It is 2 lakhs. It has diamonds all over. Nowadays, people are even ready to spend crores of rupees for the wristwatch by putting gold or diamonds into the wristwatch. But still, you have only 3 needles there and only 12 numbers. And we have to recycle those every day. After we use 12 numbers, we recycle them for one more time to spend one day. Is it not? Whether you buy it for 300 or 2 crores, you still have only 12 numbers and 3 needles there. So this extra money you are spending lakhs and crores on the wristwatch is nothing but attachment with the physical objects. And this 2 crore watch is not going to be available in the life after death. Then you are going to utterly fail, welcoming unexplainable level of suffering. If we can catch that point, we are making a great improvement the way we are thinking and living on this earth. That is the whole purpose of this discourse. Otherwise, why should we care about heaven and hell? We are not in heaven or we are not in hell today. We are on the earth. Why don't we worry about how to live on the earth? Correct. Your earthly life only becomes responsible for heaven and hell after the death. So if we tune our life here, we can reduce the suffering in the hell and we can increase the happiness in the heaven. That's the whole idea. Okay? So if we take an example of going to a spa, getting a massage done, it is no doubt a coarser desire, right? Physical body is employed there to seek the pleasure of relief, muscle relief, correct? So it is purely physical.
Medical physiotherapy?
Physiotherapy is a need. It is not a desire. It is a need. And one more example. Listening to the music, coarser desire or finer desire? Anybody coarser? Please raise your hand. Okay. Why do you think it is coarser? Listen.
It makes you feel pleasant and it's like for your pleasure.
Right. Why it is coarser?
Depends on the
Using body.
You are using the body. You are using the ear drum. Correct? Is that your logic? Same thing there?
Listening Jagara Kirtana. It depends on the music she's saying. What kind of music you're saying.
Yeah, just like what we discussed in the context of service, listening to the music, also the emotional appeal is very, very dominant compared to your physical involvement. In the entire body, at the maximum you are using only the eardrum, very small object and very thin object. The physical medium employment is very, very, very negligible, but the emotional enjoyment you get through listening to the music, especially fine music, right? It is more. Correct? So because of that one, it is considered as a finer desire. In every act, physical involvement will be there. Whenever the physical involvement is very, very less and the emotional appeal is more, it will be considered as a finer desire. Alright?
ఆవకాయ కోసం కాదు, మ్యూజిక్ కోసం ఇంకా నాకు డౌట్ ఉంది.
అడగండి.
ఇప్పుడు ఏదైతే ఇప్పుడు సాంగ్స్ డీజే ఇవి ఉన్నాయి కదా, అన్నీ లలితమైన వస్తుందా?
So your question is, you said listening to music is a finer desire. But what if somebody is enjoying the music like DJ music, where people are more physically involved, right? So when we listen to the classical music and devotional music, we relax in our place and mentally we enjoy a lot. The physical involvement almost nothing, but if the listener has some music knowledge, at the maximum they will use the beat with the hand to match with the singer. That's all, right? So that is a finer desire. Whereas if we go to pop music concerts, some of the audience get too much involved, they start dancing, jumping, and people will throw the one person into the air and 4 people will catch that person. You know, all this kind of crazy physical acts and feats are done in the pop music concert. If that is the case, it will be considered as the coarser desire, not a finer desire.
But Bharatanatyam another is for full body also.
Yes, but it is that dancing is more emotional. Most of the Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi are devotional in nature. The lyrics, the literature is devotional. So the focus is only on the God. It is not just a physical enjoyment. Whereas in the pop music concert, it is not necessarily devotional. Most of the songs are either romantic or aggressive ideas. So the emotional or spiritual appeal is very, very less there. Okay? Good. So far we are going good. Maybe we'll try one more. Alcohol consumption. Finer desire or coarser desire? Anybody want to say finer desire? Sir, we are only drinking a mug, but the emotion is so high. Yeah, it is a coarser desire, no doubt about it. And people who consume alcohol, they may be drinking only small quantity. Physical medium is only small quantity, but it is affecting the entire body. It is affecting the entire body. Listening to the music is affecting only the eardrum, very small one, but this small alcohol affects the whole body. A drunkard person might even fall and roll right in front of the wine shop. He loses his physical consciousness. He doesn't know what even he is doing. He is spoiling the inner organs. He is losing his social status. He is rolling on the floor in front of everybody where people spit. Right? So physical involvement is a lot in that act of alcohol consumption. So definitely that is a coarser desire. In the same context, we will put the drugs, narcotic drugs also. Narcotic drugs also, the quantities consumed by people may be very small, but the impact on the body is heavy. Particularly in 60s, when the hippie movement was so popular in the world, At that time, Baba gave a message saying that consumption of narcotic drugs are physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually harmful. Your physical health will get damaged. Your mental health also will get damaged. Of course, you lose your social status. You cannot mingle with everybody openly. And because of your strong entanglement with this substance, you are creating a strong binding with this material. Any sort of binding is detrimental to your spiritual journey. It prevents or retards your spiritual journey. So it is harmful physically, mentally, socially, and also spiritually. Take that note. Why did we go through some of the examples for finer desires and coarser desires? The idea here is to capture the message given by Baba. What is the message Baba gives? Baba clearly mentioned coarser desires lead to the experience of hell. Finer desires lead to the experience of heaven. That is the message we need to get. Simple. That is why we have to be careful with the physical attachments. Mental attachments and emotional attachments are relatively weaker, but physical attachments, strong attachment with the food materials, or strong attachment with the gadgets, electronic gadgets that we use. Can you give me any example? Do we use any electronic gadgets that much? Are we attached to electronic gadgets? Mobile is the biggest attachment. We are victims of that attachment. Right? We can go out without a heart. You may drop your heart at home and then you can go out, but not without a mobile. That much we are attached. Those kind of attachments will lead to hell experience. And for your information, according to Baba, mobile is not available in the hell.
But in this era of software, is it not a need?
So Baba mentioned about the duration of the heaven or hell experience. Why I keep saying heaven or hell means at the end of the current life, we may experience either heaven or hell, not both. For example, at the end of this life, I may go to hell. Then I take the new body and then live for another 100 years. At the end of that life, again, I may go to hell or I may go to heaven. It is either or, not both. That is one point. Another point is, in the heaven or hell, what happens at a high level is a repetition of our earthly life. All the actions that we have performed, having this physical body in this physical medium, they get repeated. And once the repetition is over, either hell experience or heaven experience terminates. That's the point. For a simple example, let's say we lived 100 years and within 100 years, we did 200 acts, 200 karmas. Okay. So after the death, we went to heaven or hell, whatever it may be. Experience is same in both places. In fact, they are not places, both states, I should say. Correction. So in those mental states, we repeat these 200 actions, and once the 200 actions are repeated and we re-experienced those, that heaven or hell will get terminated. Why it is so important to emphasize here is because some other beliefs are different to what Baba says. being highest of the high, we take whatever Baba says as the ultimate, unadulterated, 100% pure, absolute truth. Anything different from that is not truth. So there are certain beliefs who believe that there is only one life. And after the death, you either go to heaven or hell, and there itself you end up forever. If you do good, you go to heaven and you live all your remaining life only in the heaven. Or if you do the bad things, you go to hell and then your remaining life is only in the hell. That's it. It is forever. Hell is forever, heaven is forever. This is one kind of belief system, which is not correct. It has a duration, it has a termination. And in this context, Baba gives a metaphor of gramophone record. In the olden days, we used to listen to the songs by playing the gramophone record. Particularly if it is a LP record, long play record, it will have multiple songs. So you apply the key to the mission, manual it was at the time, right? You apply the key and then start the needle in the beginning of the record. It will play a half a dozen songs, whatever on the plate, and at the end it will stop. Just like that, either hell or heaven, repetition of these actions will terminate at one point. That is the main point we need to capture. All right. Now, the question is, we lived 100 years and we have done 200 karmas. All these are getting repeated either in heaven or hell. Why? Why repetition?
To get the experience.
To get the experience. We already got the experience here.
But you know what is good and what is bad.
We know that here also.
So we'll be thinking that's good and we'll be doing bad.
Yeah.
So there,
Very
we
good.
get the correct picture.
Yeah.
You get the clarity.
Yeah. Good. So, why the repetition is the question. Some may not know it, so we will address that before we move forward. Okay? Question is, why are we repeating the actions in heaven or hell? That is the question. We lived 100 years, and for the example's sake, we performed 200 karmas. And all these 200 karmas will be repeated either in heaven or hell. The question is, why repetition? The answer is, in this physical world, we are living in a hurry-burry fashion. We are always busy. We are always busy. At home we are busy. At office we are busy. On the road also we are busy. Even the red light signal cannot stop us because we are busy. We have to go in a rush. We have to go to a market or a movie. When you go to office, you are in rush. When you go to movie also, you skip the red light. When you go to beach also, you skip. Why are you going there to relax? Why can't you relax at the red signal? No. You only want to relax there, skipping the red signal here. Always busy. At home busy, on road busy, at office busy. Even in the beach also we are busy. In the beach we are supposed to relax in the sand and watch the tides, relax the mind. Rather, we are busy with the there also we are heavily occupied. So this physical life, unconsciously we are engaged in this life, busy, 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 busy. Now, what is the meaning of this busy? So, we are focusing on what actions we are doing and what results we are getting. In Bhagavadita, Lord Krishna said, stay focused only on your actions, do your duties, leave the results to me. Sometimes I will give you favorable result. Sometimes I give you unfavorable result for your own benefit. I will give you unfavorable result sometimes for your own benefit. Sometimes a favorable result will not benefit you. It will make you addicted. So sometimes I will give you unfavorable result. So God knows what to give. Whatever we get, we should be happy with it. So God says, Lord Krishna says, stay away from the results, do your duties. But we are so much interested in the results than the actions. Whether we have performed the action sincerely or not, we want the result the way we expect. Is it not? So our focus is on actions and results. I'll come back to you. What we are missing is, we are missing to take a note of the consequences of the results. Consequences of our actions. How are we missing the consequences? Don't we know the consequences of actions? We know the consequences that if we do the good acts, we get punyam, virtue. If we do the bad acts, we get papam, vice. We know the consequences. Don't we know that? Then how can we say that we don't know it? So I bring one example. A case of drunkard who is addicted to alcohol consumption. Now, action is drinking. Experience is intoxication. As a result of drinking, what is the result we are experiencing? Intoxication. Intoxication entertains this drunkard. In the intoxication, he relaxes his mind and then subjects himself or herself into various imaginations, pleasureful imaginations. And some people even get depressed after drinking. They drink and then start crying. Without drinking, they generally don't get depressed. Some people drink to get depressed. That also happens. Right? So, this is the result. Intoxication is the result of drinking. Fine. Now, what is the consequence? The consequence is, the first and foremost consequence of drinking is liver damage. Liver gets damaged. That's the first consequence. And what is the next level consequence? Your relations in the family, they get deterred. You have trouble with family members. Kids don't like you, wife doesn't like you, mother scolds you, father scolds you. Nobody likes you in the family. Social level. You are drinking and rolling in unclean places. Sometimes you are vomiting and the vomit is on your dresses. Flies are coming. Very dirty picture. People hate you. People don't like you. They don't even come closer to you. So social status is damaged. That is another consequence. And mentally you are getting depressed. You cannot function without drink. You are getting addicted mentally. That is a mental consequence. Spiritually also it is a damage, because you are creating a stronger bond every day you drink. You are getting more and more addicted and you are making a very strong bond with this material, liquid, alcohol. As a result, it retards your spiritual progress. Instead of moving forward as a better person, you are becoming a worse person and you are holding your journey back. These are all the consequences. So you might argue, I'll come back to you. You might argue, we know all these consequences, don't we? So, knowing the consequences, something is totally different from understanding the consequences. Knowing is only a theoretical knowledge. One who truly understands the consequences of drinking, the moment he gets to know that, oh my God, this is going to damage my liver, oh really? So why should I continue to do this one? I didn't know that. I thought it is like a apple juice or pomegranate juice. This also going to give me a pleasure. That's what I thought. When you drink pomegranate juice, it's not going to damage anything inside. Right? I thought alcohol also does the same thing. But I didn't know that liver is going to get damaged. Oh, this realization, if one gets truly, he should immediately stop drinking. Should not continue further. The person knows the theory of the physical damage, family damage, social damage, spiritual damage, mental damage, all levels damage is there. He knows the theory, but he is not believing in it. There is a vast difference between knowing the theoretical knowledge and truly believing in it. As long as we don't believe in it, it is as good as we don't know the consequences. Simply knowing the consequences theoretically is not good enough. If you know it, you have to practice it to save yourself from the ill consequences. Then only you understand the consequences. Simply knowing doesn't mean anything. Similarly, when we go through Baba literature also, we get to know a lot of right way of living. This is right, this is wrong. Baba is correcting continuously, and we get to know it. That is theoretical knowledge only. It is useful only when we put that into the practice. It is useful only when we steer our direction towards the way Baba is guiding us. Unless we practice what Baba is saying, we don't get any spiritual benefit out of it. It is only theoretical knowledge. You can go through all the literature given by Baba, God Speaks, Discourses, Everything and Nothing, Infinite Intelligence, big book. You read all the book cover to cover. It doesn't benefit you anything spiritually.
Recently, that party said books are not for collection, it is for correction.
Good one. Make sense? So, theoretically knowing it is totally different from believing it and then practicing that one. So, the conclusion I want to draw here is, we are focusing only actions and results. We are not focusing on the consequences, although theoretically we know the consequences. We are not focusing on that. We are not believing in that. That's the kind of life we are leading here. So, heaven or hell gives us an opportunity to focus on the consequences of our past actions. You go into a repeat mode, and this time, instead of focusing on the results, we focus on the consequences. How? We will explain that in a few minutes. Back to you.
To understand the consequences, we should focus on the result because consequences will depend on the result. But so we should not focus on the result.
Knowing the results is good enough. Focusing means, I didn't get your question straight.
We should only focus on the work, not the result. The consequence will come from the result, and we should understand the consequence.
Yeah, I agree with you. And where is your question?
We should focus on the result.
Not focusing is different. Focusing means you are making an attachment with the results. See, whatever we do can have a favorable result or unfavorable result. Before doing that action, are we open for both? Daddy, I want to go for Kalki movie. I want to do the action of watching the Kalki movie. And this asking Daddy can have both options. Daddy might say, yes, you go, here is the pocket money. Daddy might say, no, stay home, do your homework. Are we prepared equally for both options before asking the daddy? So, you need to know both the results, what is going to happen, and be prepared for anything that happens. If you are prepared for both equally, that means you are not focusing on the results. Any result is okay to you. You welcome any sort of result. But generally, when a kid goes and asks the daddy, I want to go to Kalki movie, we have fixed our mind on going only. And we strongly believe that daddy has to say yes and daddy will say yes. This is what we believe and go, and then get immediately upset. 99% of the daddies say no. Very rarely you get 1% yes. Whatever kids ask, 99% we daddies say no only. Right? So kid is not prepared for both. Kid's mind is fixed only on one option. That is focusing. When you are 50%, 50%, I'll ask daddy, if he okays, I'll go to movie, otherwise I'll do my homework or I'll go play around with friends. I'm equally open for both options. That means I don't care about the results. Any result is fine with me. I know my daddy takes care of me. I know my daddy makes good decisions for me.
That belief should be there.
Yes. When the kid has that kind of belief on the parent, the kid has an open mind. When the kid has the open mind, kid is not caring about the results, but he sincerely wants to make an attempt of action of asking daddy. Focus only on the action, not on the results. And know the consequences when you get involved in the action. Beyond knowing, it is important to tune our action as per the consequences. In this case of alcohol drinking, I am so innocent, somebody introduced that, we are all drinking, you also drink. December 31st night, man, come on, we are all drinking, what is wrong? Only once in a year, this is how most of the drinking starts. Right? So you know the consequence. You don't know the consequence. Innocently you said, oh, all my friends are drinking, what is wrong? I also want to drink. That is innocence. But knowing the consequence, the moment you get to know that the consequence is going to be the first hit on the liver, I don't want to damage my liver. You change your behavior and then go to not drinking. That is the modification. Knowing the consequences is theory, and modifying our behavior accordingly is a maturity. Clear? Are you good? Good question. The main difference for the earthly life and the astral life. In common, heaven or hell, we call it as an astral life. Heaven is an astral life, hell is also an astral life. Right? In the astral life, the main difference is, here we do the actions. But once we go to heaven or hell, we don't do any actions. We only replay the actions already done and make the observations, learn the lessons out of it. That's what we do. This is similar to watching our home video. We celebrated the first birthday of our child so lavishly. We did lot of decorations, and then we did the home video recording, cake cutting, serving the food to all the guests, everything we recorded, right? One fine day, in the one fine weekend, we are playing that video to re-experience the child. When we conducted the birthday, we were busy. We were busy inviting guests, we were busy serving others, we were busy arranging the trash bags for them. We were busy, we didn't enjoy the event. People who came, guests, they enjoyed, we didn't enjoy. So we want to re-experience that one. We play the video, oh, this is how we have done. Oh, they came. Oh, they also came. Oh, okay, I thought they won't come. Excitement is there. You re-experience without doing anything. Similarly, in heaven or hell, you don't do any actions, but simply you watch your previous life as a movie. Baba gave this analogy. The analogy of this movie, Baba gave it, comparing to explain the experience in heaven or hell. All right? So, that's what happens. We assess our actions. We assess our past life actions. We assess our earthly actions. An assessment is done to understand the influence of those actions on the consequences.
So I want
Yeah.
what I read from Baba's book. First time when Baba took Woman Mandali to USA, my brother asked Baba, swimming pool is there, can they use the swimming pool? Swimming pool.
Ah, okay.
Oh, go ahead, enjoy, he said. They enjoyed swimming and all. After they came back, what Baba said to Woman Mandali, when you have pleasures, innocent pleasures, enjoy. When it is not there, you have the same state of mind. You should have the calculate that.
Yes. Yeah. That is an example for detachment. That is an example for detachment. Stay detached. When you have the swimming pool, jump and then enjoy it. When you don't have the swimming pool, don't complain. When you are sweating, you're going under hot sun, don't complain. Oh, I didn't get a chance to take a shower. Don't complain. That is a best example for the detachment. Okay? So now the point here is, are we learning our lessons as a result of our actions on this earthly life? Is the question. Her question is, what if we slow down a little bit here and then pay attention to the consequences and then modify our behavior accordingly? Do we still need to go to heaven or hell? That was the question. That's exactly the point I was going to cover. The point is, if we learn the lesson here itself, out of 200, let us say 50% we learned lessons here itself, then your heaven or hell experience is going to be shorter. You quickly learn the lessons for the remaining quickly and you will come out. One more thing is, if your learning is not so good here and your learning is poor, not perfect, then you will learn there also a little bit more, whereas your suffering in hell is going to be relatively less. Either we can cut down the duration or we can reduce the intensity of the hell. That is the very purpose of this chapter. Yes.
Are there any signs to know if a person is from heaven or hell, as in being through heaven or hell?
ఇందాక చెప్పుకున్నా. His question is, are there any signs whether this guy is from the heaven or from the hell? So the straight answer is no, we don't know. But generally, I gave you an example. Even if you put 10 crores rupees on the table to make me drink a glass of alcohol, I am not going to do. I am the example. I have been to my hell already. I have experienced it. I learned my lessons in previous life, apparently. That is why I have a very strong will not to even smell it. So those indications will be there, but it's not very critical. All right. So here, in this discourse, Baba said, coarser desires, who are very physical in nature, lead to hell experience, and finer desires lead to heaven experience. I said I am going to retouch this point, correct? Here we are. This is the message God is giving, coming down amidst of as Avatar Meher Baba. Right? The same message God already gave. It is not a secret that Baba is revealing. It is already given when he came as Lord Krishna. Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanamaatmanaha. Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanamaatmanaha. कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मात् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मात् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. त्रिविधम नरकस्य इदम द्वारम नाशनमात्महा. There are 3 gateways to the hell, entering through which you can easily destroy yourself. Nashanam atmaha, atmanashanam. We know that the soul cannot be destroyed. Here, Atma means it is not the soul, it is the self. Self-destruction. So there are 3 gateways to the hell for our own self-destruction. Instead of enjoying the heavenly happiness, if we put ourselves entering into the hell, that means we are spoiling ourselves. We are opening the gates for our own hell. There are 3 gates. What are those gates? Kama, Krodaha, Lobha. These are the 3 gates. Raghuji. Oh, okay. I'll take care. Kamaha, Krodaha, Lobha. These are the 3 gates to the hell. I have given this handout to all of you. Please take a look at that one. So, the Kamaha means lust, desire. Krodaha means anger. And Lobha means greed. These are the 3 gates to the hell. Tasmat etat trayam tyajet. Because of this one, you have to reject these 3 practices. One is Kamaha, second is Krodaha, the third one is Lobha. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. These are the 3 practices you have to reject by all means to save yourself from the hell. That is the message given in Dwapara Yuga itself by the same avatar when he came as Lord Krishna. Yes.
Can you explain why passion is evil?
Why passion is?
Evil. How can it be evil?
Passion is bad.
Passion is
How is
evil.
it bad?
I will address that one. Okay. So, in this life, whatever lessons we are learning, whatever messages we are getting from the highest of the high, if we practice those, if we slowly modify our behavior in line with his messages, we are doing a lot of work here itself, what we are supposed to do in heaven or hell. We are learning our lessons here. We are making our corrections here itself. That way we can reduce the hell experience. Even if you go to the hell, it will be very short and it will be less intenseful because you already learned a lot of lessons. Your homework for hell is very less. You will come out of it very quickly. That is the whole purpose of Baba giving this message. So the moment we learn the lessons here itself, our astral experience will be reduced or the intensity will be reduced. That's the whole purpose of Baba giving this discourse for us. Okay. I will come back to your question. Now, his question is, what is wrong with passion? Everybody is saying that you have to have a passion, you have to have a passion, you have to have the passion, you have to achieve higher goals, you have to aim on the higher goals, you have to get the promotion, or you have to become the manager of your organization or CEO of the organization, ambitions, all of that. What is wrong with that? Is that your question correct? Okay. Absolutely nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong about having the passion to grow. Whether that growth is financial growth, spiritual growth, material growth, nothing wrong. I am a real estate agent, for example. I want to do more real estate business. I want to make crores of money for my family and relatives. Absolutely nothing wrong. I am a businessman. I want to make lots and lots of money through my business. Absolutely nothing wrong. I am a student. I want to aim for my first rank. Absolutely nothing wrong. Having ambition is absolutely nothing wrong, as long as our approach to that ambition is a righteous approach. You are doing business and making lots and crores of money. Fine. Are you doing the business rightfully? You buy 10 rupees product and you are selling for 15 rupees. If you buy 10 rupees product and you sell for 10 rupees only, you are not doing business, you are doing service. Business means there has to be profit, no doubt about it. But how much profit? There is a rule for the business. There is a limit for the profit you can go. Just because you don't have a competitor, you make that price 3 times, 4 times. Did I say Gio? No, I didn't say. Did I? If you increase the price because you don't have the competition, that is not a fair business. Similarly, to get the first rank in the school, if you apply the illegal practices to get to the first rank, by giving some money to somebody and get the paper leak, that kind of approach is wrong. You can make money any way you want. You can earn higher status either in education or employment or business any way you want, as long as the approach to the passion is a rightful passion. Did you get that answer?
Yeah.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksham. These are the guidelines for us. Your Ardham, money, should be according to the Dharma. It should be in a righteous fashion. Don't forsake the righteousness and then make money. Your Kama, your wanting, should be righteous Kama. It should be righteous. Righteous means within the limits we talked about. Okay? Yuktahara viharasya, that one. And when you exercise making money or kama, your lust, within the dharma, marital relation, the lust in marital relation is pious, sacred, no doubt. That's the limit. Marriage domain is the limit. But some people go out of the range and get into the extramarital relations. That is not dharma. The dharma is wife and husband, that is dharma. Anything beyond that is called as extramarital relation. You may have a Supreme Court blessing for that, but it is not dharma. You crossed your limit. That kind of passion is detrimental in all aspects. So heaven and hell are designed, they are the tools to help us learn the lessons of the truth. So, hell is promoting us to learn the lessons. We are getting knowledge through the hell experience. Our knowledge is increasing. Through the heaven experience, our knowledge is increasing. Right? So, this is giving additional knowledge for us. Baba said this knowledge will serve as an intuition for the next life. When you start the new life in a new body, this knowledge you gained from the heaven or hell serves as an intuition, inborn wisdom for the next life. Because I have that inborn wisdom, the lessons learned from the previous life, you put 10 crore rupees here and a glass of mug of alcohol, I am not going to touch it. I have my inborn wisdom. I have my intuition telling me that don't go. You already learned your lessons. It serves as an intuition. Hell and heaven processes are instrumental in unfolding the truth that is already hidden within our soul. Based on the kind of actions we are doing in this particular life, the corresponding knowledge is unfolded by either hell or heaven and made it available to you. A person who lived 10 life cycles after becoming a human will have an amount of inborn wisdom, intuition, much less compared to another person who has already lived 10 lakhs lives, because his unfoldment is more truth is available for that person. So in this journey, as we continue to live one after the other lives, total 84 lakhs life cycles, our truth, our access to the truth will gradually increase, and eventually we will have the complete truth available. So the heaven and hell processes are instrumental in helping us reaching our goal. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba. Meher Baba, Meher Baba.